Wow. College football playoff. It took a while. Sooner Nation, Surgeaholics, for the playoff to have a game of this magnitude and of this, I guess you could say, greatness. But this is an absolute great game being played by Penn State and Notre Dame, Jay. What's up, everyone? It's Thursday night. It's snowing. There's a lot of white stuff coming down here in Oklahoma. Roads are slick, and this game is on fire. Jay, I don't see the Sooners.
Yeah, it's a good game tonight. What's that?
My screen looks weird. Does yours?
No.
Does
looks normal, Germ.
Does yours say Sooner Surge at the top?
Mine says normal, Germ. I don't know what's going on with your end. Maybe your Wi-Fi is jacked up.
Yeah.
Maybe your Wi-Fi jacks up. Chuck was asking if OU's hired a new DC yet. No. Have not from anything I've seen, so still waiting on that. Yeah, I got to postpone the game still on. That's what we were talking about. Do we just wait till the game's over?
We didn't want to make you guys wait, but man, what a game it's been.
It's been a good game. Penn State's punting the ball, so Notre Dame's getting the ball back 2.5 minutes. Field goal wins.
Jeter's going to win it, Jay. Jeter's going to win it.
What do you guys think of these offenses? Here's what I'll say. Benjamin Banner, we were talking about it in the Discord. Really good defenses and balanced offenses. That's what you have to have. You don't need to have just a dominating power, like spread, score 50 points a game offense. You need to have a really good defense and a balanced offense that you can run the ball and you can pass when needed. To me, you don't have to pass for 350, 400 yards. You just got to be well balanced. And Timothy's dead right. Two well-coached teams. They are. They have good staffs. They're well-coached. Mark will be back after the game. Both teams just seem to put a drive or two together and score. Yeah, and they made plays when they need it. I will say this. Now, what this game does have has some elite players on both ends. You look at it, guys. Penn State, that Abdul Carter kid's unbelievable. Off the edge, really good. Their running back's good. You look at Notre Dame, Love's insane. That running back's really good. And you know what the most impressive thing about Notre Dame today? Their O-line, two guys were not injured. Backups came in and they've been almost as good or better. And even Notre Dame's backup quarterback came in and did what they needed to do. So tight end's unbelievable. So good.
Tyler Warren's unbelievable. Abdul Carter's great, but Jeremiah Love just absolutely destroyed him at the goal line earlier. And yeah, the governors did executive orders, kind of the big news for OU today. What does it mean? It means they can use the money that's raised to pay players. Missouri has the same thing. Is it Missouri the only other state?
I don't know off the top of my head, Jeremy. I really don't.
I think it may just be Missouri and OU.
Well, a lot of teams are going to go
Missouri and Oklahoma, not OU.
A lot of states are going to go to that. I mean, that's
correct.
I think even when Brian came on here earlier this year, he said that a lot of states are going to be going to the. And don't quote me, I may be wrong on that, but I thought maybe I heard somebody say something like that.
And maybe Hunter can check, but I think Missouri and Oklahoma may be the only two states that do it right now.
Yeah, the tight end's unbelievable. Hey, you know who else is really good that I like a lot? I know they're not just
Faison.
Well, Notre Dame Faison and also Greathouse. I like both of them. Notre Dame's receivers. I know
Faison broke an ankle on that tutty.
And this is interesting from Aaron. They shouldn't need an order from the governor to do that. Just do it anyways. The NCAA has no power.
Yeah, I mean, but they do. That's the thing.
It changes things for OU right now. And I think that'd be the question. I'd love to get into some conversation on this. When this game ends and we get starting our calls and stuff, guys, I'd like to get your thoughts on what does it change for Oklahoma in your opinion. I'd love to get some thoughts on it. What's up, Sooner WX?
Jay, it gives them more money right off the bat, doesn't it?
Correct. But what kind of competitive edge does it give you?
More money.
Yeah, but don't you think other teams are maybe, like somebody said, doing it, but don't have a governor ordered to do it?
Well, but OU needed the governor order to do it, Jay. I don't know what. I mean,
it's a positive thing. It's a positive.
It's only a positive. It's not a negative.
I don't know enough about it to comment a whole lot on it, so I don't want to misquote exactly what it is. In the long run, it will give an edge. We'll be federal soon.
But in the short term, it does give an edge.
Hey, what's up, Hookem? Hey, I hope tomorrow that game with this weather is. I talked to a buddy of mine who was going to go there with some people, clients, and in a suite and stuff, and a lot of people backed out because of the weather. I think you'll still have an awesome crowd there. I think that'll be another great game. I really do. I think that game's going to be a really good game.
Hunter,
I'm excited to watch
I get it. Game. Hunter, I understand when it's federal, it's across the board. I get how that works. It's not federal. For some things to go federal, it takes a little while. So in the meantime, OU needs to use it to their advantage.
Fire hat, by the way, Jerm. Nice hat. Win-win for OU. Win-win. July 1st ETA on that.
Won't happen. Well, and fine, if it's July 1st, use the money now to go get guys. I mean,
yeah, use it while you have an advantage. Use it when you have an advantage. Hunter's correct. However,
what's so funny, Hunter? What's so funny? LOL. It will happen. LOL. Who didn't say it's going to happen? Jeez, man. Chill, bro.
Hunter said you said it. I don't know.
No. When did I say it wasn't going to happen, Jay? I said it takes a while sometimes, federal things. I'm not arguing it.
Notre Dame, first down, 1:23 left in the game.
What yard line?
Their own 35, and they're milking clock. So they just want you to get this overtime and win with the field goal.
Hey, I got the backdrop.
July 1st.
I can see the backdrop now.
You did just say what happened July 1st, Tyler said. I don't know. What's up, Monty? Hey, are you getting snow? Is Tennessee getting snow? I think they're getting it tomorrow morning or overnight. Everybody's getting snow in this area. Look at Okie Lawn guy, Jerm. Okie Lawn.
Coming around, Okie Lawn guy. Coming around. Yeah, it's abysmal. It's pathetic. OU women lose tonight to Mississippi State. It's bad.
Yeah, they're 1-2 in conference play as well. Do not talk to your teachers that way, Chuck says to Hunter. Well,
hey,
Aaron.
Guess what, Aaron? They might and they might not. Both are true.
I disagree with Aaron here because I have Texas beating Ohio State. So,
but
and
either one could happen.
Yeah, either one.
Either one can happen. It's football. It's football.
Yeah, I'll admit, Penn State, they're better than I thought they were throughout the year. I kind of was always like, I don't know about Penn State, but they've proven to me that on their physical team, they can run the ball. They have a good defense. That's what it takes.
Two guys that people are very low on, Freeman and Franklin, are proving their merit right now.
Well, one season. I mean, for Franklin.
What yard line is it?
Hey, Jerm, the fact of the matter is, stop with the Franklin stuff until he wins this game. He hasn't beaten anybody. Who did he beat? SMU and Boise?
Well, he's in the Final Four, so it's pretty
okay,
good.
But you can't just say he's all of a sudden unbelievable.
The good news for OU today was the executive order signed by Governor Stitt. Yes, virtual learning day for us tomorrow. Virtual learning day.
6 inches at Hunter's apartment. Chester with the nightly fire Joe C comment before Moser and BV, please. Well, I think you'd have to. So, he'd bring in a new coach. Wow, Penn State with a massive penalty. They got a sack.
What kind of penalty?
They had a sack, but they had a legal hands to the face, 15-yarder.
First down?
Yeah, automatic first down, Jerm. Oh, wow. Some of these comments are absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to show them, but Mark, funny comment. I'm not going to show it, but that's pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. Oh, Jerm. What else is going on, man?
Oh, Jay, I didn't even talk to you and Hunter today about a source.
No, you didn't. Hey, everybody, listen up. Listen, I got to explain this. Explain this little story.
I'm not going to say it on here, though. I'm not going to say it on here.
Wait, so
I'll
what
call
are you
you
doing?
After the live show.
Okay, so Jeremy texts us today and says, guys, got a massive source on something. He says a name, and then he says, that's it.
Relating to Jim Knowles. Relating
to Jim Knowles. And then me and Hunter like, question mark, all day, question mark, nothing. And now he just remembers it. Like, Must not be much important news if you're just now remembering.
It actually is great information, but it was snowing all day, and I was at a school working, Jay. Dealing with.
If Ohio State wins it all, they will beat 6 of the teams in the playoff. That's impressive.
I've got a really good source, Jay, and I'm not going to speak on it right now.
Why do you do that, though? That's just like can't.
I've got a really good source, Jay.
Cool. I guess I'll talk to you after the live about it, Jerm. I mean,
absolutely.
Don't need to put it on the live. Kevin Stitt needs to help out Oklahoma teachers pay. Oh, geez, Okie Long Guy. Jerm probably agrees. Okie Long Guy's a teacher too, right? He's in education. Did the
Correct.
Twins fall asleep this evening? No. I've been watching football.
Fall asleep?
You might have fallen asleep because you didn't bring up the source thing you were going to say earlier.
Michael says the NIL payments will still be an advantage for schools that can raise more money. Only revenue share is equal. Jay, did you see what Trace Ford said about Jim Knowles?
No, I'm sure he said great things. He played for him.
He said he would cut his toe off to play for him again.
Cut his toe off?
That's what he said.
Wow.
He basically said if stuff like that he's hearing that is true, then it's a very sad and happy day for OU. I mean, for him, he's sad that he wouldn't get to play with them, but he'd be happy for OU. They said he would do anything for that man.
Hey, so I got to get to this here by Tyler. Tyler, at first, I thought the same thing, but the replay, he made contact. Yes, in that situation is tough, but he did make contact. He never turned around.
He
never turned his head.
But everyone who says face guarding is not allowed is incorrect. Face guarding is allowed as long as there's no contact.
Yeah, but he did contact him.
Okay, I agree. But everyone who says you can't face guard, you're wrong. You can.
Dalpo says he can get you a toe by 3 o'clock. There are ways, dude. Penn State just got a sack. Yeah. So looks like this game is going to go OT. It's going to go to overtime. You got to punt if you're Notre Dame. You're at the 50, 4th and 9. You got to punt it.
How much time?
52 seconds. Penn State's got 2 timeouts.
You could go for this.
No, you don't. Stop.
You could.
What? Yeah, obviously you could, but you'd be idiotic.
Or you would be a gambler.
Look at that by Sooner Freak.
Hey, is the clock running right now?
No, they called a timeout.
Okay, because I'm going to say you can run the clock down and go for it.
15-yard line, Penn State on their own 15, 47 seconds left, 2 timeouts.
Yeah, it's going to overtime.
This is that situation. Let's go back, guys, to when OU played Missouri. OU should have won that game. They decided to try to score instead of going to overtime. They fumbled it for a touchdown. About this, I mean, how much time was left in that game? About 40-something seconds?
No, way less.
Yeah. So you got to think they're going to take a knee because they know what they're doing. They're not going to do what OU did. Although they lined up to hike it and shotgun, so we'll see. I think they handed off, but you never know.
If your first down play gets some yards, then you can go do it.
Well, they ran it and it got 15 yards, so they're on the 39 seconds.
Hey, I got a shout out to this guy right here, David Allen. David Allen, I want to say, and I haven't hung him up yet, but I just received these, Jay. One of these is going to be yours. 2000 National Championship picture, 2007 Red River rivalry in the Big 12 Championship. Bob Stoops signed these. David Allen, massive thanks. I appreciate it very much. My boys had a kick opening that big box and seeing what was in it when I told them there was some OU memorabilia. It made their week opening that. So appreciate it.
That's awesome. And by the way, that's why James Franklin isn't very good. You throw the ball and throw an interception.
Wow.
You said you would have went down there and tried to score too, Jerm, so you're just like him.
No, I said if I was Notre Dame, I would have went for it.
No, you said if Penn State gets a good long play on first down, they should try something. So you're right with him. Moronic play. Hey, David, that stuff's awesome. I haven't seen it yet. Jerm was telling me about it on the phone today. He called me and was like just ecstatic about it. So that's awesome, David. He says they were in the shed
Massive
for 17
things,
years.
massive things. We love
dude, there was just hey, let me just say this. I don't think I could do it. If I went to a game, they just showed some fans for Penn State, some guys. It looked like college kids were just balling. You got to know you're going to be on camera, don't you? Like, you can't be – I don't think you can be doing that, man. You know it's going to be on camera these days with memes and stuff. Crazy game. It's a crazy game.
Another interception?
Let me say this. I did cry. I cried after OU lost to OSU. What year was that? I don't remember. I was in my closet. I went in my closet and cried. It was a Bob Stoops game they lost, but kick a field goal, 33 seconds left. They're reviewing the interception though, so we'll see. It does look like an interception to me. I don't know if people in the chat think so, but it looked like an interception to me. Just off.
It's confirmed. Hey, Jackson, that's a horrible take right now. Now I will say this: Drew Allen.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Jackson. Horrible take. Hey,
what are you doing?
Jay,
I mean, come on, Jackson.
Riley Leonard. Now, Riley Leonard, in my opinion, is better than Drew Aller. Drew Aller's only been 67%.
First off, why is Arnold? Time out. Why is Jackson Arnold's name being brought up tonight in the playoff with Drew Aller?
I don't know, because Jackson saw it on Twitter. Hey, Jay,
you know
what play people are forgetting? The first drive of the game, Singleton wide open would have walked in on a little flare screen pass, and Drew Aller couldn't put it up in his hands, threw it behind him on a little 2-yard pass. That was the game.
To be fair, he hasn't played a great game, but he's had some good runs. But here's the thing: Notre Dame's defensive backs. I want OU to get Notre Dame's defensive backs are legit. They are physical.
Al Golden's a great defensive play caller.
They are physical. They can tackle. They play a lot of times. You'll see them just bump and run on an island. And
what yard line are they on?
I have no clue, Jerm.
Guys, keep us posted. What yard line they on?
Well, and that's the answer. Chuck's answering the question. Yeah, that's true. And hey, Jackson, you're entitled to your own opinion if you believe that. Are you saying you believe that? Or are you saying somebody put it on Twitter? If you believe it, come with it. Back it up, man. Let's go. Bring it. Call in and tell me why Jackson Arnold's better than Drew Aller.
Wait, 35, 36, 37, 33. I guess they're somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah. So they're all in. You probably want to get 10 or 15 yards to be safe. It's 2nd and 5.
You got to at least get 5 yards. They're just running
it with Riley Leonard. You know what, guys? I have a problem with settling for a 52-yard field goal.
What's funny is you have a problem with settling, but earlier you wanted to settle. It's weird, man, your takes.
Whatever.
Look, you said earlier, don't take a risk. Now you're saying
don't. We got Eggplant Craig on here and Coconut Greg. Say that 5 times.
Eggplant Craig, Coconut Greg.
Johnson, you can never say this. You can never say never. You can't never say never.
That's a bad take.
You can't never say never. Now, you could say right now it looks like they're a lot farther away from these teams and they are closer to them. But never say never. That's all I would have to say. Hey, Gregot, it's allowed. He can talk about him. I'm just saying, why would his name come? Why would Jackson Arnold's name come up with Drew Aller was my only thing. I don't care if we talk about Jackson
Arnold.
Arnold.
I think Gregot's referring to the Discord.
I just don't know why we would compare him to Drew Aller.
Yeah,
that's all.
Said it earlier. Jeter going to win it.
Were they really the same class? That's crazy. I thought Aller was a year before him. Is Aller only a redshirt freshman? Oh, wow, they threw it. First down. They're in field goal range. Hey.
Do you have a television in there?
No, I got my phone kind of going.
Oh, kind of going? You're watching the game?
Not the best. It's not the best, but MB, what is MB? A year old. Wow, if he's only a year old, wow. I've never seen a 1-year-old do as much as Aller.
He's better than baby Gronk, Jay.
I actually know a buddy of mine that just saw baby Gronk last week and took a picture with him. Not as big as you think.
Well, that's why his name's Baby Gronk.
Well, okay, so they're not the same class, correct?
Correct.
Okay, year older. That's what I thought. I didn't think they were the same class, but
hey, 14 seconds left, 42-yard field goal. Jeter has to make this. Luck of the Irish. Luck of the Irish. I tell you what, both of these teams, I think, impressed tonight.
They were both good teams. I think they're both good teams. Now, I mean, Notre Dame was my pick to win the whole thing, so they really need to win tonight for my sake.
You have Notre Dame, Texas, Jay.
I have Notre Dame, Texas with Notre Dame winning it all, but it may not happen. It may not even – Penn State may beat them. They may go overtime. So, if it's OU, he misses.
Well, OU's not in it.
Yeah. Benjamin's ahead of everybody. That's the thing. People – it's so hard to doubt it. Do you remember the old days when you didn't have this kind of stuff? Everybody was kind of on the same I guess area.
First off, Chuck, I really don't believe in luck. I agree. I don't believe in luck. I believe in sovereignty of God. But Greg God, I disagree. The real championship is played next week. Tomorrow is not a championship game.
No, but he's saying he thinks the winner.
I know what he's saying, Jay. Any team can win any game. I've said this.
Hey,
it's
if you
football. It's football.
Tyler says, who do you have in the title game? Hey, let me ask you all this before they kick a field goal. Do you like when people call a timeout right before a kick, or do you not? If you were the,
I only like it if the kicker doesn't get a kick it.
No, what if you were the guy that was coaching the defense and they were kicking against you? Would you call the timeout or no?
No, I don't call a timeout in that situation.
You don't call to ice him?
I think it actually relieves the kicker knowing that, hey, I could miss this, but they're going to call a timeout. So if you don't call it, it works out.
I also think sometimes if you don't call it, you got them thinking you're going to call it, and they may not be ready.
Rudy.
40-year field goal up.
Rudy. 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 Rudy.
Hey,
Rudy.
Stop.
Rudy.
Stop,
Rudy.
Hey, Chuck. What you see on here is when he gets mad. That's his mad. It doesn't get any worse than that. We got to talk about this tonight too. It's not might. I think he's entering the portal. I don't think he missed it. Johnson says, "Geez,
Jeter choked it. Wow, told you I don't believe in the luck of the Irish." I like David's take. Walk down the sideline, make sure he sees you, but don't call it. Oh, he drilled it.
Oh, Johnson.
Way to go, Johnson.
Johnson.
Let's go, Notre Dame. I'm glad they beat Penn State.
It's not over, Jerm. 7 seconds left. Johnson, that's a good one, bud. I'm not gonna lie. You got me. Johnson. On that.
Hey, Jeter was not good during the regular season. He has been money in the playoffs. I mean, absolute money in the playoffs. I bet he's made 6 or 8 field goals.
Yeah, but you know a crazy stat? Crazy stat is Penn State has 8 interceptions in the playoffs. 8. That's nuts, man. Yeah, Beck's going to enter the portal. I don't know if it's official, but he pretty much said he was going to enter the portal. They announced it today. Is this, we talked about this in the Discord a little bit. Is this not the same situation in what OU just went through with Dylan Gabriel? Isn't it the exact same thing? There, don't you think?
Well, he did enter with the do not contact, though.
But don't you think it's the same thing as far as Georgia saying you're not?
Yeah, it's very much
guaranteed to start. You're not guaranteed to start.
Very much the same thing. And I think what it is he already has been tampered with, or he knows someone out there is already going to offer him a big, big deal.
They did not show him the door. I quote, they didn't, but they said what? That you're not going to be the starter for sure. You might be, but you got to earn it. They didn't just guarantee that he's a starter, would be, I guess. A lot of people think Miami. So
yeah. Man, this is a great game tonight. Great game. I hope tomorrow night is just as good.
Hey, Georgia next year, I assume it's going to be the guy that was the backup that played in the bowl game, would be my guess, but unless they go get somebody out of the portal. Yeah, a lot of teams threw money at him probably. Did you see the Did you see the Boise State coach, Dirk Cutter, today? Said
What
that he
about
had
it?
players, the Oregon tampered big time with them. He came out.
There's been
said,
multiple. UConn's coaches did the same thing.
Play for overtime, Penn State, ridiculous. Yeah, there was something I was going to get to that Chuck asked. How do you think Bowen is feeling right now? What do you mean, Chuck?
Maybe
Chuck.
Peyton Bowen going to OU instead of Oregon.
Whoa, no, he's probably because he was going to go to Notre Dame. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
really
think that's what Chuck,
Oregon.
I think that's what Chuck is asking. Is he went to OU over Notre Dame? Correct. Yeah. Probably thinking he should have went to Notre Dame. Is what Dalpo says. Yeah. Rashada did hit the portal. What a name that everybody thought was going to be unbelievable. Haven't heard a whole lot out of him. Hadn't done anything.
Correct.
Jerm. There's been a lot of guys. Malachi Nelson, nothing.
Hey,
little hook and ladder.
Hey, Jay, do you think Mateer is still in the playoff? I mean, do you think Mateer is still the number one quarterback in the portal if Beck and Ewers goes in? I would say he'd be number 2.
No, Beck's number 1, and Ewers is right there with him. Both those guys were Heisman candidates this year, before the year.
Well, before the year,
over.
yeah.
Notre Dame wins. Notre Dame advances. There you have it.
And there it is. Notre Dame is in the national championship game, the first year of the college football playoff. A team that is not in a conference could win the Natty.
Man, do you remember earlier this year we had that little argument about Notre Dame?
We had a big argument.
You said they needed to go undefeated to make the playoff.
No, I said they couldn't lose 2 games.
Hey, here's the thing. I'll say this. I believe it was last year. I was dead wrong on Freeman. He turned it around way quicker than I thought he could there. Like, I was wrong on him. Now, earlier this year, I admitted that I was wrong on him, and that's why I've picked Notre Dame to win it all, but I was flat out wrong. Guys, you ready for this? You ready for this? But you better have something nearby, or you better be sitting. You better be sitting down right now, okay? Because I'm about ready to tell you something that's going to make you mad. He came to Notre Dame the same year Brent Venables came to OU.
Correct.
3 years. 3 years, look what they're at.
And he's outperformed Dan Lanning. He's outperformed BV. He's outperformed everyone in that class that got hired that year. And no one would have thought that, Jay. And I tell you what, listening to him at halftime, listening to how he talks and the adjustments they're going to make, I mean, this dude knows their identity and he's going to stick with it.
Yeah, and what I think he's really good at is, and this, I love this about him, and I wish now, and I think it's a fair question to ask, and Daniel just said that to his wife, same time as BB. This is a fair question to ask, and I think it's going to be some good discussion, so here we go. He comes in, and he's a defensive guy, right? He hires an OC, he hires a DC. He's the overall CEO. Then you got guys like Brent Venables who wants to run the defense. You got guys like Lincoln Riley who wants to run the offense. What I'm going to ask you here is this. Can a guy that runs one side of the ball, don't you think it's a little harder to win a national championship like that?
He's done it the right way. Guys, and he's light years ahead of BV.
He played at Ohio State.
Years ahead of Dan Lanning.
He played at Ohio State.
He played at Ohio State, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, I'm trying to think who all he coached under.
I don't know, but Mr. B, that's the one name I was sitting there thinking before you put it in there. I was thinking, okay, Sark's still out there doing it, but hasn't won a championship yet. I'm saying to win a national championship. I'm trying to think, who was the last pure coordinator to win one?
Yeah, I don't know, Jay. Last pure coordinator?
It calls one side of the ball. You have to call it. You have to call that side.
There haven't been, Jay. And Iowa Sooner, I agree. I saw what Trace Ford said on Twitter. Bring him in. Bring the dude in.
People are saying Saban and Kirby, but I mean,
no, Saban didn't call the offense or defense.
Saban had Saban didn't, but did Kirby? I think Kirby might have. Early years.
Or did Dan Lanning call it?
Yeah, he did have Lanning as well. So Jimbo's a good one.
Jimbo might be where you have to go back to. Hey, I'm going to say something about Marcus Freeman.
Offensive side of the ball, yeah.
I think it was Jimbo Fisher. Hey, Marcus Freeman is about as real as they come.
Hey, and let me say something.
I know that people early on in his career, he would run the stairs at the stadium. There would be a video. He'd talk about it. It seemed like, this guy's kind of cheap. This dude is genuine, authentic. To me, the players love him, but also he's true to what at halftime he said, we're going to run the ball. We got to run the ball. That's who we are. I don't care who the quarterback is. We're going to run the ball. By golly, they came out in the second half. They ran the ball. They go right down there and score. He knows what their strengths are, and they play to it. He is phenomenal. I was dead wrong on Marcus Freeman after the first year. Totally wrong. The dude is an elite coach. He's at the top of the game. To me, he's ahead of the other guys, man.
Hey, open up the phone lines, Hunter, but I got to get something. Casey's comment, Mess's comment. I don't want to lose my mind again like I did last week when I did lose my mind for once. But people have to stop. When teams keep winning, you can't keep saying that. Some people pick Penn State. And then Notre Dame wins, and it's like, well, they beat Penn State. Penn State's not good.
Isn't this
guys? If teams keep winning, at some point if they win the national championship, what are you going to say then? They didn't beat anybody? I mean, I don't understand. They're still winning the game.
Hey, and man, you don't know they're going to get throttled. People aren't Dionne Warwick psychic networks here. No one knows this, and you may think that. That's fine. But listen, here's what I'm going to say about the whole thing. Georgia won the very similar way that Notre Dame's been winning. When Stetson Bennett was there, it was the very similar way to how they're winning.
And I will watch and learn, Mess. But first off, who are they going to get throttled by first? Go ahead and tell me your pick for tomorrow. Because you got to tell me who you're picking tomorrow first.
He's going to pick Ohio State.
Everybody's on the Ohio State bandwagon. Everybody.
Maz, no offense, no offense, but you also put 12-0 all year about OU, okay? You put 12-0 all year, bud.
Hey, and listen.
Watch and learn on that one.
Hey, I got to say, I got Texas too, Cowboys. Hey, here's the thing. I know a lot of people think Ohio State win, and they might. And if Ohio State played Notre Dame, I'm still picking Notre Dame. I'm picking Notre Dame to win the whole thing. So we'll see if it happens. I don't know.
Hey, I do want to say, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Thefanstop.com. It's officially licensed college football, college sports gear, in almost every collegiate team they have. So check them out. If you want to sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, use code SURGE. It gets 10% off your first 3 months, and that's to any team. So if your team's still alive in the college football playoff, go on there, see if the Fan Stop has officially licensed gear for them. Check it out and order it. Great hoodies, great T-shirts, great long sleeve shirts, hats. Go check them out, thefanstop.com. Locally owned here in Oklahoma, officially licensed gear. Phone lines are open. Let's get after it. One team has cemented their spot in the college football playoff finale. We'll see who the other one is tomorrow.
Purple saying Mateer going to be OU savior. We'll find out. Hey, Iowa, that's a big projection, bro. And Iowa, I just
now, we can wait. Someone's going to get me to say about my source.
We can talk about this. I do got a great trivia question tonight. I do got a great one. Hey,
people keep talking about Knowles. I'm going to have to reveal my sources.
You can't reveal your source, but you could say what your source said because I'd like to hear it.
It's a little. It may be too much. I don't want to reveal it yet.
What if we did a Sooner Surge after dark, and you put it in there for us? I mean, if you're going to keep bringing it up,
hey, Grey God, I can promise you this. You know I'm not fake. I don't just blow smoke. Okay, I actually have.
Hey, I will say this, Jeremy. Usually, you say you don't have any sources, so now you saying you have one makes me kind of intrigued.
And on the Kendall Daniels, Jay, I texted you on that.
That's so you were. Is this the same person?
No.
Okay.
I'm never going to reveal it. And even on that, I didn't say anything on the live, Jay.
Hey, what about the Discord? What about the Discord? You want to put it in there later?
Michael, I am definitely not an insider. Here's what I'll say, Ian. if people think that the Jim Knowles stuff is not possible, think again.
Hey, put it in the Discord tonight. Hey,
we have a caller on the line.
We got a caller. We got it's Kayla, but Kayla, you got to Hunter, I think the mic. Connect the mic or your camera. You will not be on the you won't not be shown, but you got to connect it so we can talk to you.
Max,
so connect
definitely
it. Call right back. Call right back, Kayla.
Definitely not in the teacher's break room. I don't eat lunch there. I'm always on lunch duty. Okay.
Hey, there was
something here. No, that's not my source either. I actually have a source. Okay, guys. Jeez.
Does grandkid go to your school? This is pretty funny comments. Daniel Brooks will be. I will say this: if you're not an unlimited member, you should be. Sign up for the Discord. It's all in the description of the video. If you want to sign up, it's in there. Love to talk to you on Discord. OU Sports is doomed, Sooner Cowboys.
Hey, but the good news, Sooner Cowboys, Governor Stitt executive order, that is good news right now for OU.
Right now.
You can't say it's bad news for OU.
Hey, you know what? I may sound dumb with this comment, but is there how many I'm not even going to say it. I can't. It's not. Never mind. I'll sound stupid, so I'm not going to say it. Are you on the hiring committee?
Definitely not.
Do they do that? Do they do hiring committees for coaches anymore? You used to have like
no idea,
Jim Traber. Context.
Okay, and Hunter, you can drop it in the chat if you want to hop on here and say it. But in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, this executive order basically just allows the university to pay the players specifically. Correct, Jay? Does it eliminate a step in the process? There's only a couple states that have approved this yet, but as Hunter said, this is going to be a federal regulation at some point.
So what Hunter's saying is they basically can do it now before July 1st when everybody else will be able to do
it. If that passes, if the federal one goes, yes.
When do you guys think they will announce the new DC? I have no clue, Bishop. Here's the thing. The portal's pretty much closed unless you have guys enter from these teams that are still playing. That's one. The other one is this. Recruiting's done. You're done with the recruiting class. You don't really start spring practice till later on. Right now, it's just Schmitty work. And then
real quick.
So you just don't. I don't think there's a hurry yet. So I don't know when it'll be. And we do have to talk about this. This is just awful news. Tone Loc. I mean,
hey, it is devastating. I mean,
it's awful.
Yeah,
awful.
Praying for all those that are helping, for all those that are hurting, for all those that are dealing with anything or have family members there. Pray that could be resolved, that there could be some restoration there. Hey, real quick, Hunter, has it passed? In my life, when something hasn't happened, there's always an if. Hunter, drop an article in the chat where it said it's going to pass July 1st. I just want to see it again. Last week I asked for, I wasn't able to look at one, so I'd like to see it.
Yeah, prayers sent for the people in California. I'll say this. I actually went to Hawaii this last summer where the Friars were there in Lahaina. Even to see it after the fact, I talked to somebody there that basically everything got destroyed in his house and everything. It's awful stuff what they're going through. Can't even imagine. So prayers for sure. Can't even imagine. Hey, here, let's go with trivia right now. I got to do it right now. And this is a tough trivia. So before we do, check out the FanStop, www.thefanstop.com. Use code SURGE to get 10% off your first 3 months on the Shirt of the Month Club. Or look at this, man. Hoodie is elite. Go get it. thefanstop.com. Here we go with trivia, guys. Somebody in the Discord, I'm going to mention the Discord again because, hey, we were talking on it earlier tonight. And somebody asked, when was the last time OU played in the Orange Bowl? Well, I went and looked it up, and yeah, it was a playoff game against Alabama. But that's not the trivia question. The trivia question is this. I was shocked to find this out, but OU in their last 11 bowl games are 3-8. You heard me, 3-8 in their last 11 bowl games. You have to put all this in one answer. The 3 wins. Who did they beat in those 3 wins? Who did OU win their last 3 bowl games against? Those 3 names need to be in your comment if you want to get the point for trivia. I'm not going to give a point for 1, a point for 2. They all 3 have to be in there. They're 3-8 in their last 11 games in the bowl games. Bama, Oregon, Florida, wrong. Auburn, Bama, Florida State, wrong. Oregon, Alabama, wrong. Hunter, tell me if you see it. I don't think I've seen it yet. If you see it, let me know. I see a lot of mixture, but I don't see the actual answer. Still waiting on it. Man, I see a lot of mixtures of the teams that it is, but you do not see the correct answer.
Still they just waiting. Don't have the right. They don't have the right combo.
They don't have the right combo. There it is, I think, right there. Gray God. Well, Dowpost might have beat him. Looks like Hunter, was Dowpost the first one? It looks like Dowpost might have been the first one on my end. Oregon, Florida, Auburn. Dowpost asking for trivia gets the point tonight. Wow. 3-8. Dowpost barely beats Gray God. That was a buzzer beater.
M. Rocky. I'm just going to say something right now. First off, I don't play for the University of Oklahoma. So, yeah, I didn't beat Navy. I don't play the game. The other thing, M. Rocky, I'm assuming you're a Texas fan. Great. Kudos. They've had a phenomenal year. Best of luck. But it's funny how you're getting on here. And obviously, you've never watched the Sooner Surge because we have Hook'em Horns. We have Chris. We have KB Longhorn. Maybe we're not your typical OU fan channel. But, man, I'm surprised Texas doesn't have a live going on right now, considering they're in the college football playoff. We go live every night.
How hard that was shows how much bowl game don't matter. That's a good comment, Purple. That's a good comment right there. Let's get back to it, Germ. I don't know if there's any more you wanted to say on the executive order being passed or not. Is there anything else to say about it?
No.
Otherwise, I want to talk more about the DC.
Let's go to the DC because
let's go to DC.
I already said I've changed my tune on it. Shall I expound on it again?
Well, you said it yesterday that you changed your tune, but here's what I want to ask you before you say it. 3 years of implementing Brent Venables' defense that's gotten better every year. If you go away from that, hire somebody to call their own and go away from it, right? And it doesn't work out, you talk about looking stupid.
Jay?
I mean, that would look idiotic.
I've got a couple
of thoughts. To change the only thing on the team, as far as it's been really consistent and getting better every year, you're going to pull out from that and just totally change it?
No. Again, I'm going to tell you what I said last night. You bring a guy like a Jim Knowles, like a Phil Parker, you could probably name about 4 or 5 guys that would fit this mold. Guys, in my opinion, and the more I've thought about it, Jay, there is much more in it than just bringing a scheme defensively. It is about the ability to call plays, to call the correct blitzes, to call the correct packages, the correct stunts. You got to have a mind that can call the right thing. Now, here's the other thing. We're seeing what Freeman's doing. To me, and I don't know why you would say heck no on Phil Parker. He's been one of the greatest. He's been the assistant coach of the year about 3 times.
But I'm with Chuck here. I'm with Chuck.
I would rather have Jim Knowles though. But listen. Why would someone like that come to you? Because they could be the next head coach. Well, someone who's been around a long time.
I'm so done with bringing this guy. He could be the next head coach. Come on. That's so stupid.
No, people who say why. I've got the reason why, though. I'm not going to say it on here. I already know the reason why it would happen. I can't reveal it yet.
Okay. Hey, Abe,
Michael.
Hey, wait real quick. Abe, I saw this today too. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But then at the same time, I also think this, like a lot of these guys, when they go to the Miami, I mean, who knows the context of that? I don't know. I saw pictures and stuff, but when was it actually done? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff floating out there. You're right, Abe.
Chuck, a guy like Jim Knowles, I'm not sure there's tons of stuff you would have to reteach.
Kayla, I'm technology challenged. I can call in. I'm a proud new member of the Surge. Kayla, call in. Let's talk. Give us your opinion on things. Just make sure you turn on that microphone or camera, and then it'll allow us to talk to you. So thanks for being a member, Kayla. Appreciate it. Hey, also, Kayla, email us, SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com. You can at least talk in the Discord with us.
SoonerSurgePod@gmail.com.
Scheme, attitude, and consistency. We need to stop bringing in coaches without a dog mentality.
You know who does have a dog mentality, from what I've heard, is Jim Knowles.
Oh my gosh! What are you? I mean, dude.
Although I did talk to an Ohio State guy, said they have not heard a thing, but my theory actually supports that.
Jeez. Okay.
I don't even think Phil Parker's even mentioned. I just threw the name out there because he's a similar guy of Jim Knowles who's been around a lot. That's the only. I don't think they're going to go get Phil Parker.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. You're in a job and everything's going good in certain aspect of it, but another aspect it's not. Why would you change what's going good? And why would you change that?
I don't know that it has to be changed like you're implying.
Germ, if they're going to bring in somebody that runs a different defense, you got to change the whole defense. Brent Venables defense. Brent Venables, here's the thing. It would be like somebody, this is a good example. Lincoln Riley has a certain offense. If you were to bring in Dan Mullen, if Lincoln Riley was a head coach at OU, said, I'm going to bring in Dan Mullen to call the plays. Are they changing the offense completely? Are they implementing a new offense probably?
Yes.
Okay, same thing goes on defense, Jerm. You would implement a new defense.
Jay, you don't understand. Defense and offense are a little bit different, bud.
I know. Hey, Michael, I know it's similar, but what I'm saying is this. Brent Venables is a little more complex. And you know what? That's fine. If you're going to bring a guy in and just say, hey, Brent Venables is going to be the CL and pass it all to Jim.
Hey,
my thing is, my big problem is this. I have a tough time, guys. This is where I'm at right now. I have a very difficult time seeing a guy like Brent Venables, who has coached defense for however many years he's coached defense, to all of a sudden say, I'm not going to have anything to do with the defense. I don't know, Germ. That's hard for me to believe.
Okay. First
off, it might happen, but it's hard for me to believe.
First off, Tyler, I'm not someone who's going to sit here and point at me and say, hey, guess what I did? Told you so. If I could, if I'm one of the people that would do that, I would have done it a lot this year, because I have been right some. But I'm not going to, to me, it would be wrong to say some of the stuff. Okay.
Hey, I want to get to Greg, but then I got to go back to this Cade thing. I want to get to Greg first. Greg, what's up? You're on the line.
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
What's up?
Good.
So I'm kind of with you guys. I don't think it makes any sense to bring in a defensive coordinator right now.
But when you say that, you're with Jay, because I'm on the other side.
Here's my thought. I just think, like, it to me, it doesn't make sense unless the higher ups are saying we need to bring someone in, and maybe they're maneuvering something behind the scenes, like a guy like Jim Knowles, who's proven himself to be, a good coach, probably about to play in a national championship. Like, hey, it all works out good here. Who knows? Head coach in waiting. I hate that term, but like, why else would they bring in someone like this? Unless they're making promises to him or something like that, or maneuvering some other kind of deal.
Yeah, it doesn't to me, but I don't know. Maybe they will. And
hey, I want to ask you something. I think we could
agree with this.
Hey, I want to ask you something, Bo. I want to ask you both something.
Okay.
You can name a lot of different schemes offensively, correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
name me 5 defensive schemes right now.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I get what you're saying.
And that's because there's not that many. I mean, you can run a 4-2-5 or you can run a 3-down lineman, but maybe the terminology changed a little bit, but it's not like offense where you got to change it all up.
It's not the scheme to me. It's Brent Venables relinquishing control of the defense.
Yep.
That's my.
You can get away with say not giving a guy like Ben Arbuckle a ton of control, but a guy like Jim Knowles, who's proven to be one of the best and at one of the best universities right now, you're not going to hire him and say, well, you're going to run someone else's.
Yeah, he's going to do what he wants.
Now, granted, like you said, Jerm, there's not a ton of different schemes out there, but a guy like him, he's going to want to be calling the shots unless there's something else in it for him besides that.
Unless Greg and unless Jay, unless BV says, you know what? I've done it my way so many years here. And he realized the only way he's ever going to have a future as a head coach is he needs some help. He needs someone else to come in here and do it. And he can still be the head coach.
Well, I completely agree with that. I just don't know if at this point you're going to teach a guy like Brent Venables new tricks, you know?
I don't either. Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but yeah, I just don't know if in reality that's would go down. We'll see. Hey, you never know.
And Jimmy's got a great point. If you were to bring a guy, an older guy like Knowles or someone who's been around a lot, how do you know you're going to be able to keep your staff?
Yeah, hard.
That's a good point. Some of your guys you love.
Unless Jim Knowles just loves the state of Oklahoma and has just been dying to get back. I don't know.
Hey, thanks, Greg.
I won't say too much on that, but you got something there.
Okay, all right. Hey, y'all have a good one. Take it easy.
Don't get up. Greg reads my mind.
Hey, let's get to Chuck. Chuck, you're on the line, bud.
What's going on, fellas?
How are you?
All right. Hey, Coconut Greg had a lot of good points. But one thing about it, I think Germ pretty much answered. I mean, he made a good point. I mean, if you bring in a new guy, especially one that wants all the control, he's going to want to bring in his people. So you have good defensive coaches that you definitely do not want to get rid of. And another thing is if we just lost a defensive coordinator or co-defensive coordinator who was, like BV was like a father to him, and he left because he felt like he wasn't getting enough control. Well, assuming, right. I don't know that for sure, but assuming. So why would BV not willing to let it go then? He is not going to say, oh, I've been doing this for so many years, and I know the only way I can be a head coach if I let it all go and somebody come in and take over it. No, that's his baby. He is not going to let somebody that's not going to run his defense come in who he's you know how bad we were before BV came, and he's brought it up this far. So why would he relinquish it?
Yeah, I'm on your side here. I find it hard to believe. And the ones that say he wants to relinquish control and give it to a guy, then why didn't he just do that with Zach Alley? Zach Alley, they were good last year in defense. Why wouldn't they just keep him and let him run the whole thing?
Yeah, and I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll get off, and I'll let Jerem have it all. Look, the Dusty Dvorak, he said something really cool the other day. He said, now the way Oklahoma is doing this, it has and this is not word for word, but it has a chance of backfiring. He says, because here they are, the fan base is, waiting for this splash hire and all this buildup, and then you go hire the Clemson guy who Dusty Dvorak said he believes that's the right person to hire. He goes, but then you go and hire this guy that got fired from Clemson. It's going to take people, from, cloud 9 and bring them back down to cloud 0, and it might backfire.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could. But Jay and Chuck, don't you guys think the Wes Goodwin stuff? It's done. It would have happened by now.
That's what
they're going to bring a DC, and it's either got to be a guy that's in the playoff, or they're just dragging their feet because Wes Goodwin could have been hired by now.
Okay, but let me ask you this then, Germ, because you have a valid point there. But let me ask you this, and be truthful. Well, I know you will. What will you feel if it's not a splash hire when they finally announce the guy's name? But if it's not a splash hire, how will you feel?
Then it's going to go back to what I originally thought, that BV wants to do it all himself.
But how will you feel?
He'd feel let down.
I know his answer. At first, that's what I wanted. I said, you know what? If BV's going to go out this year, let him call the defense. But then when the talk has happened about big-time DCs, I've kind of liked it. I'd probably be upset if they don't do it now.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening to me, guys.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Kayla's got Notre Dame winning it all.
I'm with you, Kayla. I'm with you. Hey, I got to get to Daniel here. And Daniel, I think, first off, I think in a perfect world, I think last year, the year before, Brent Venables should have just said, hey, I'm going to relinquish control. Like, I'm going to hire a defensive coordinator, run it. I'm going to be the CEO. Personally, I just think it's hard to believe after 3 years and this being such a pivotal year that they would change that. Now, with that being said, I also see the people that say, and I do hear the people that say, man, he just needs to hire somebody and not even think about the defense. I understand when people say that because maybe they think, well, let's just throw a scenario out there. Maybe we don't know. I don't know because I don't go to practice or anything. Maybe there's a lot of other issues that, hey, maybe the practice schedule, the organization, all that stuff that really the head coach needs to be, maybe some of that needs to be streamlined, needs to be better, the whole thing needs to be better. And they need, Brent Venables feels like he needs to be more responsible. I don't know. I'm just saying, I get both sides of it. And I'm not saying BV can't give it up. I just feel like he won't give it up right now. With 1 year to go, it has to be a really good year. And you put all that effort into making this defense better. And when I say won't let it go, Daniel, I mean this. They bring in somebody, maybe at the first year, maybe what if the defense struggles? Brent Venables, I think, would be all in on that. Like, and so I think it's hard.
Well,
it's hard. And I think it's because it's year 4. Like this, to me, in year 2 or 1, bring it, do it. But this is very hard for me to believe that would happen now.
Aaron, here's something else you think about. If the decision is made, let's say late January, players might get upset, but what are they going to do? The earliest they can do is enter a spring portal, which is going to put them behind the 8 ball for next year. Hey, so and it's actually perfect right now because players can't enter the portal right now. That's kind of smart.
And purple's great. This is a great comment. Ryan Day did bring in Chip Kelly to call plays. Now, here's what I want to say this. I think Brent Venables, in the 3 years he's been there, made 2 massive mistakes that have led to where he's at. 2 massive mistakes, huge mistakes. And they were both hires. One, the Seth Luttrell hire, we've all talked about, it's awful. But the other one was when you come into Oklahoma, remember when Bob Stoops came in, who did he hire to run the defense? Mike and Brent. Bob was a great defensive coordinator, dude. He could have just ran it. He hired
Jay.
Wait. And who did Brent bring with him? Puppet Ted Roof.
Correct. And Jay,
that was a massive mistake. He should have went and got a protege then to run his defense and not be in control over it. That was a massive bad hire.
Jay, and BV's weakness every year has been a little bit of that he hasn't really given up some control of some things, or he's too loyal to some. Look, maybe he's realizing I can't allow that to be my weakness anymore. And hey, look, maybe I'll drop something in the Discord, but I mean, there's a lot of good talk. There's a lot of great
first off, if you're going to, you need people that aren't in the Discord need to know how to find it. You go to the description of the video, click on it, sign up for the Discord there. You have to email us at soonersearchpod@gmail.com after you sign up. But hey, Roof was terrible. But the other thing is this: if Brent Venables were to do that and turns it around, and I mean that would be kudos. I would give it up to Brent Venables for doing that. I'm not saying he should. I'm saying if a guy does that and relinquishes it and they're better and it helps the team out, kudos to Brent Venables if that's the case. Now, we'll see if it happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to just say, I mean,
Well,
you talk about blood, sweat, and tears on changing that defense after the last 3 years.
hey,
And I think other guys can come in and call it. I get it. I get what you're saying, Jeremy. It's not a massive change, but the change isn't in calling the defense to me. The change is backing away from the defense if you're Brent Venables. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. It was a horrible hire. It was a hire to basically have a yes man do whatever he wanted to do. Bad hire.
Correct. Hey, and I know M. Rocky's probably still in here because he seems to be someone who just wants to. I know one thing, man. I'm just going to say this, M. Rocky. Handle success well, man. To me, it really shows who you are a little bit when you can't handle success.
What do
you got M. Rocky in the chat all night tonight. Like, handle success a little better. You obviously haven't watched our live shows. We don't just sit here and roast Texas. I think we're pretty fair fans across the board as far as football fans, but you're showing yourself tonight a little bit.
Well,
so, I handle success a little better than that, man.
I can admit I tuned it out after one comment that I read, and I was like, well, there's no credibility there anymore.
Handle
When it
success.
says the only player on Oklahoma City Thunder that's any good is from Texas. Who's that? Who would that be? I don't know of one, Germ.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I thought.
He's probably talking about when Durant went there. Hey, anyway, tonight, great game in the college football playoff. You got another one tomorrow, Texas, Ohio State. Thanks to everyone that's been on here in the chat, calling in tonight. Drop who you got in the college football playoff game tomorrow, Texas, Ohio State. Do that before you leave. Also, hit the like before you leave. Hit the like. And check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. We appreciate you all. Sorry for the late start tonight. Had to watch the end of that game, and we'll see you next time. Have a fantastic Friday. Be safe out there as you're traveling.